Very rest.
Episode 7.
Fresh shave, dude. Mike Fauerbach.
I fucked up on my mustache.
You got a fresh shave, dude.
Oh shit! I didn't even notice that.
Looking like a newborn with a mustache.
Is it on?
Yeah, we're good.
Oh shit! Now we go into the number 7. Now we go podcast. What's up, Big Uncle Zach Maslany? Over here with your boy Jaminho Halindinho.
Whoa,
that's really cool. Yeah.
That's like your that's like
cool.
Brazilian name. And
I hope I get one.
Miguel Farbinho. Everything's a Nino.
I want to kill myself.
Dude,
okay, let's go.
What's going down? Dude, what's up, guys? It's Monday. It's almost the end of April.
That's how crazy is that? I remember you going, well, we got 4 of these.
Yeah.
Since it's just been a blur.
My
what the fuck, man?
Hillary's like 5 months pregnant, and for somehow I skipped month 4. I forgot. She's like, oh no, I'm 5 months. I'm like, what? I thought you were 4 months.
Months just clearing out,
yeah,
dude.
just disappearing.
Time does fly. The days go by, even though there isn't as much to do, the days go by really quick. I'm not going to lie. Like, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, dude, it's 8. I got all day. And then, boom, it's like nighttime. I'm like, shit. You know, especially if you just stay home all day, it probably does seem like forever. But if you make a move once a day or something like that, it kind of breaks up the day, at least, you know? So I just can't stay in all day. You know, I just can't do it. I just got to make moves. I got to go out and do stuff every now and then. I got to, you know, be outside. I got to, you know, Gator's got to, you know, get some new walking shoes, dude. And if I get new walking shoes, you know, I never been about playing no shit. Never been about playing no shit, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I went into the mountains for 5 hours on Saturday.
Nice.
Which mountains?
Up toward, it was Appalachians, but it was up towards Blue Mountain. There's like a stop off there. I've never done it before.
Nice.
I went with a couple friends. We stayed on like the service trail. There was a decent amount of people, but on the way back, that was like the longest I've been outside. Because like if you cut out like your daily running around and then you just have to stay in, it's a lot of time. And then on the way back, I was like, this is probably the first time in a long time I felt normal. Like I was just like, what the fuck? It sucks. I can't do May. I can't. I'm not doing it. I'm not staying in.
May is a long time.
It's too long.
It's interesting.
That
like,
cocksucker's going to push it back too. He's just going to wait till the 7th. So all the hippies are like, oh, it's only 1 more week.
Yeah, and everyone's going to say that, and then it gets pushed back. Georgia,
I've been doing
said they're
everything
open
like normal this whole time. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, yeah,
I want to break. I just want to like go get wings. I want to do something normal.
I don't want to get into it because we were just getting into it before the podcast. But if you just just go on the PA Department of Health and look up the numbers. Do your own research. I mean, if you can't see
God
that,
damn it.
You know, look into it, dude.
Tell me what to think, Zach.
If you can't see that the numbers, you know, are way lower than expected and who it's affecting and everything, if you can't see that and you still support the lockdown, Yakuta.
We're the only species that like carries the weak with us, you know? But we have to, right? Like, I don't want old people dying.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you break your leg and you're a freaking tiger or something, that's a wrap, you know?
Done.
It's a wrap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah,
Everyone else should stay inside. If you're, like, sick and afraid of getting the flu and dying, you stay inside.
Well, that's how it seems like to me. That's how it's always been. You know, like, it seems like, okay, if you don't want to, you know, when polio and all that stuff was going around, it was like they didn't really quarantine people. If you got sick, they quarantined you. My grandmother said they used to paint like a cross on your door.
Lepers.
Yeah, and you just walked by and, you know, you were like,
shit.
oh, shit, like someone's dead at that place, you know? And but they didn't shut everything down because people still had to live. You know, it's kind of like a cross. People think if you do not support the lockdown. You want people to die. Like, it's so.
That's crazy too.
Yeah.
You want grandparents to die.
Yeah.
No, I don't think that's what I want. I'm not. That's not what. I think. If the people who were really nervous about this type of thing, and if you're around your 80s or whatever, you should probably stay inside. If you're really that nervous about it, maybe wear a mask. But everybody else, I think, should be able to do, what they want to do. That's how I feel, anyways.
Yeah, wings would be good. Hillary sent me something. She's like, "Look, you can make wings at home." I'm like, "Fuck that! I'm not making wings at home."
Why don't you just pick them up from?
No,
It's not the same.
I'm not doing it.
They get steamed in the container, and then unless you have an air fryer, you really can't. I'm so fat. Unless you have an air fryer, you can't really get them back to how they are. But like, I used to go with my buddy Jer, and I'd be like, "Hey, do you want to go over to like Union and Finch or Miguel's? We just go grab, have 3 or 4 beers, sit at the bar, fuck around with the bartender." I guess I just miss interacting with fucking public.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. I just want to make my money, dude.
That too.
Yeah,
I don't really care about people.
The only thing that me and my wife really would do is like, I miss being able to go on little. Yeah, I miss being able to go on little trips.
Dude.
I miss being able to go to restaurants and hang out.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. That's what all we would do. It's not just so much the people interaction, because I could do away with a lot of the people, but I don't mind the not as much traffic. But I want to be able to just go. We like to go out to eat. You know what I mean? That's the only thing we really do. And then I was like, all right, like I said before, I was like, oh, this is bullshit. I'm like, I don't want to just stay in my townhouse apartment place the whole fucking time. Like, why don't we just go to go up to the Poconos and rent a place for a week or two, but they shut that shit down too.
Worse up there.
$180 a night for a bungalow in the Bahamas. If anyone would like to go, that's the deal now. It came up in my Instagram feed.
It was like $69 to fly to Denver and back for like June, or not June, September. So there's some good deals. There's some really good deals.
I saw a couple of people on my Facebook that like checked in that they were flying places. I didn't know like you could still fly.
I didn't think you could either. I guess people are just, that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
They want you to think you can't fly, but people are, they just had last night on UFC Fight Pass, they had Submission Underground, Chael Sonnen's jiu-jitsu event thing in a cage, which is kind of whack, but at least they had something.
Yeah.
I watched a little bit of it. I watched the last match, and then I watched the highlight of the one match. And, those guys had to fly there because I know those dudes I know those guys. They're from, I don't know where it was. The one guy's from Portland, but some of the guys were from Canada and, Australia and all types of shit.
Seems
so I'm
like
sure a lot of them in California.
Pushing all that shit to Florida. I guess that's where the next 3 UFC cards are going to be.
This was probably in Portland, Oregon, I think,
Yeah.
in some faraway place, which probably not many people are infected up there anyway. All there is trees, I don't know, but all this though, all this has made me think about moving to a different state. To be honest with you,
Where would you go?
I've been actually, come to think of it, I don't want to tell everybody, but I do have a state in mind, and I do like the area already. I've been there. I will divulge to you guys afterwards, but no, I'm just kidding. Not that many people are listening to this, but I'd rather have you guys move up there with me. I'm talking about a little place where the beer flows like wine. A little place called Vermont.
I've never been.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Vermont's cold, which sucks, and it is a big winter, but here's also the thing. Vermont is filled with, and it has a long history of Republican governors. It's a little more spread out, but there are some really cool areas up there, so I'm interested. 10 Planet Vermont.
God bless you, bro.
Would you ever move?
No.
Have you ever lived outside of the
No,
area?
I would move. Something would have to, if my family died or something, I would leave. But I don't got no reason to leave. Everything's here.
Nice. That's good for me, too. So that way I could just hire some guy to take my position here for a little bit while I just go scout out there, and we all make more money. You know what I'm saying?
About a month.
Sure.
I don't like being cold.
Dude, it is, I'm not going to lie. When I was up there, it was freezing. It sucked. But is it colder than Montreal?
Oh.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I've been to Canada once, and it was when we were 20, and we drove there so we could drink.
Yeah, that's when I found out about it, too. Someone over, we were sitting, I forget where I was, but we were somewhere and someone was like, hey man, yeah, I can't believe that. You just go across the border to Canada, you can get all the beers you want.
Yeah.
And then someone overheard that and they were like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, you only gotta be 19 to drink up there.
Yeah.
I was like, you only gotta be 19 to drink?
It was nuts. We went in my buddy's like unreliable K car. I can't believe my parents let us go because we didn't really have like a good reason.
You asked to go?
Well, we were just, I mean, I was living at home and we were just like, hey, we're going, or they were already going. And I was like, hey, Josh and Randy, I think maybe I told them they were in a band. So I think maybe I told them they were going out there for a band.
Oh, okay. We just all had to tell our parents some other shit.
Yeah.
I didn't tell my parents like, yo, I'm going to Canada. I was like, I'm going to go over to, Sean's parents, Brian's, cabin or
Yeah.
whatever. We're going to stay there for 2 days. And then we're thinking, all right, if we leave at night, like we said, we're going to leave in the morning, but if we leave at like 11 at night, there won't be on the road. You can smoke J's the whole way down as long as you get
we
rid
had
of
to finish-
everything
yeah.
by the border.
That's what we did.
And dudes, we were cruising some piece of shit cars like a, 96 Dodge Neon.
Nothing you should take to Canada.
Nope. Like now I'm like, do I have an oil
No
change?
GPS. I think we had a map.
Yeah, you had to go maps back in the
Yeah.
day. That's how we did it. We had a map, but it's only one road though.
Yeah,
You can take
yeah.
one road all the way up.
It's not a bad drive. I just can't believe we did that to get drunk.
Yeah. We literally got through the border, parked the car, and went to like one of the first places.
There's a casino that we
yeah.
exchanged money as soon as we got there.
That's where we went. That was the only place that was open. And I forget, we were there super early, and the guy was like, we don't start serving till 9 a.m. or something
Yeah.
like that. And we're like, oh,
It was
come
crazy.
on.
I remember we got there and we were trying to get in a hotel, but none of us had a credit card.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't stay anywhere. And then we finally found a place, and the guy's like, don't bring women back here. And we're like, none of us are getting we're like, none of us are getting laid. We're like, what's this guy? I think we're like these sexy Americans. And
What's wrong with women?
So then we went in. The place was a total shithole. And then we were leaving, and there was prostitutes out front. And that what it was.
That's what it meant.
So but we were just like, and then we were like, oh, looking back on it now, is I would have just stayed at the hotel and had prostitutes the
Yeah.
entire time. But we were just so focused on getting beer. And I remember we were in this long line to get, it was like one of the second, we were bar hopping. Oh, look at this big line. It's probably a dance club. There was all girls there. And we're just waiting in line like 20 minutes, and the bouncer comes up and he goes, yo. And he's like, what's up? And he's like, not from here? And we're like, nope. And he's just like, this is a male strip club, and that's why there's all these women here. We're like, later.
Yeah, we had a similar thing happen to us in Canada. We were up there for like New Year's one time. My buddy Tim went to Rochester Institute of Technology,
Ooh.
RIT, and it was, or I think that's what it was, but it was like right up, it was like an hour from Canada, so we could just cross the border all the time. And we're thinking we're gonna go out to some party. We didn't know that you had to like request before and get on like an invitation list and pay $125 so you can go. We just
like a
thought you could just
legit
show
thing,
up,
yeah.
whatever. So we found one place that let us in. We pay the $20 to get in. We get in there, and then all of a sudden I see this dude cruise by, full fishnet, and like another guy comes by with like the police hat,
Yeah.
just real tight shirt. And I look back, and my buddy Tim looks at me. He's like,
Like the scene from Police Academy.
yeah, we walked out. Then we just walked back up to the coat check because it was obviously New Year's. And he's like, hey, man, quick question. This is a gay bar? He's like, yeah. He's like, I should have told you guys that when you came in, but I wanted to see your face first. He's like, I'll give you money back. And he gave us our $20 back, and we just went to like some sports bar. So
That was nuts. I just remember we
Good
drove
times.
up. We left on a Friday, and I think we came back Sunday. I mean, with all the driving, it was like it was a blur.
Yeah,
we
we
hung over and then drove home.
we've been to Canada a couple times. We actually got our purple belt from Master Eddie Bravo in Montreal. Yeah, 10 Planet Montreal. So that was pretty dope. That was one of the first times Eddie was kicked out of Canada for a long time for maybe like a tax thing or something like that. But when he was finally allowed back, we went up there. It was real dope. Brought Grace with us, so that was really cool. Shout out to Louis Ho, 10P Montreal. Then we went.
You were talking about traveling when you first got here. I forgot how much you guys were traveling.
Yeah. We were gone at least a weekend a month, sometimes more. And a lot of times, though, it'd be like a month and a half of not much, and then like
Yeah.
3 weekends in a row, or multiple things a weekend. Dude, we had some crazy ones. When Thor got into combat jiu-jitsu worlds, when he fought Kevin Casey, Hickson Gracie black belt.
That's not Combat Worlds.
What was
Fight
that?
Night.
Oh, Combat Fight Night. Yeah, they always get different names. I always mess it up. But Combat Fight Night, we flew out there on a Thursday, got there, stayed Thursday night. I think the tournament was Friday night. You know, it was like a fight night. Yeah, that's right, fight night. So we had the match Friday night. So he had to weigh in all this shit. You know, we're super hype and like going nuts and crazy matches. Meeting Kevin Gastelum and shit. And then that night, me and him got on a plane at like, I don't know, midnight, 1 a.m. or some shit like that. And we flew home, took a bunch of edibles, flew home, got to JFK airport at like whatever, Saturday morning at 9 a.m. Preet picked us up from JFK. We were already had the finishers tournament planned that whole weekend. So Saturday was the open event. So this is our tournament that's going down and we're not even there. So I got there and we got back to the hotel and he was competing, I think the next day, right? Then we had the pro tournament Sunday. We've scheduled some crazy shit. And everyone's like, you're not, like, I've had plenty of people tell me like, dude, you're nuts. You're scheduling too much shit. You're never going to make it. You're going to burn out. And I'm just like, can't burn out. You don't have a choice. And I want to do all this shit because it's my job.
Yeah.
So, and that was a crazy weekend. We did that several times. Just like we went to Japan, came
And 2
home,
weeks before
slept.
that, we competed in the ADCC trials.
That's true.
It's not even like I'm taking a flight and going and laying on a beach and reading a book.
Yeah.
I'm like getting a flight, high as fuck, get off the flight, and then I have to fight the best guy, like, you know, one
Yeah, how
of the best
about
guys on the planet.
when we just went to Florida? The last time we went to Florida, we had a grand opening, and he jumped in the tournament the night before. So then, like, that adds stress,
I
and
don't
then you
even
got to
care.
make weight.
I don't even care about it anymore, dude.
You just
Fucking so stupid.
Go to a
It's points
tournament.
tournament.
Yeah, go to. Yeah, I mean, it was just something to do, though.
I
you
fought
know?
like this. I fought one of Cyborg's black belts who like just he was fucking brolic as shit. I don't know. I should have punched him.
Just some crazy
I don't know,
steroid
I should've
guys.
just fucking
Well, I
slapped
mean,
him.
not to. I mean, shout out to all the Miami guys, but a lot of those dudes are on roids down there, dude. Because
Well, 'cause
Miami,
it's Miami.
Miami, baby.
Everyone wants big mouths.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm pretty big. Like
10th Planet Miami.
people just meet you now and they think like, oh, JM's always been jacked. Like, nah, I was not always jacked.
Yeah, Eddie used to bust on us all the time about lifting weights. He's like, you guys are, when we got our brown belt at our old location, he was like, man, these guys are walking around, they're running to school out here, they're 165 pounds. And we were like, what? We're like, you know, competing professionally at 135. That's well off. And we walk around at was walking around at 45. But now that like I'm not really competing, I've been trying to gain weight, but still that's hard. You know, shout out to Valley Meal Prep. Been eating all that for lunch. Started eating oatmeal for breakfast, and my wife makes dinner because she's home all the time, which is nice. And we eat out. Like we've gotten a bunch of wings from fucking PJ Wheelhands,
Fucking.
JP Heelhands.
They're probably hurting.
What sauce do you got? On
I
there?
mix it up. Sometimes they had like last time I got hot and honey.
Yeah, it's always about hot and honey.
Yeah,
Hot
but
and honey's always the best.
they have a garlic one that's good.
What's the
and then
Korean one they have?
Korean
That's good
barbecue?
too.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Kim Jong Un died.
Yeah. How about that? What the hell? Did he really die? Is that
I
true?
don't know.
Is that a rest in power or rest in piss?
I think he's a pretty cool guy from what I've seen. I mean, if you see the interview and
Kim
shit,
Jong
he seems
Il's a
pretty
cool guy. Cool, you don't
He
know
seems cool to me. I don't know what he's
That's
hanging
like-
out with Trump and shit. I
That's
don't
like
know.
one of those
Which
things that
one?
goes on the Biden. J.M. Holland thinks Kim Jong Il is a cool guy.
From what I've seen, he seems fine. I don't understand why everyone's upset
Was
with him.
he the one who was obsessed with Dennis Rodman, or was that his dad?
Yeah, no, he's friends with Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, like how,
So what's everyone's problem?
How crazy is he?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
goes over there and plays basketball.
Dennis Rodman's a crazy person. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rodman's always been crazy. I didn't watch the documentary.
I missed
yet.
the last one. I
Yeah,
saw you
last
posted
night.
a picture, and I was like, "Fuck!" It was on.
It was all about
Episode 3, right?
Mostly about Dennis Rodman, right?
Yeah, Phil Knight and Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
Yeah, Rodman's the man. Also, he was crazy as shit back in the day. He used to be on Stern all the time. In
a
the
lot of
morning,
people
too,
don't
yeah.
like a lot of people.
Yeah,
I don't like
lo-
a lot of people either.
I love Rodman. I have his book from back in the day.
Wearing,
Kim Jong-un
wearing the
is
wedding
taking it a little
dress.
far.
What's that?
Kim Jong Un is taking it a little far. I shouldn't.
I won't cut it in the clip.
Yeah, don't clip it. Don't clip that one.
No, there's some stuff I leave out of clips. Like there was a really good one. It was we were talking about something, and you're like, yeah, you're like, those are the type of people that fuck through the dick hole in their underwear. And I was like, that's too far.
Dude, that's a Chappelle Show bit.
Yeah. I know, but sometimes I try and.
Yeah, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yep. Now his
I
sister's
mean, I make us
taking
look
over.
crazy, but I don't
appreciate
want to
it.
like make us.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, man?
Yo, his sister's taking over now.
Yeah, she's like, that's almost like more scary.
Yeah.
Like a female like that in there.
Something to prove.
You know how that goes.
So you don't care. Just cut motherfuckers' heads off.
Yeah.
I don't really know that much about North Korea. I haven't
No.
really looked into that much.
I've seen a couple like bits and pieces of documentaries where I think like what was the movie they did with Seth Rogen? I think that was like when that shit started coming out. I was like, oh, like that they really have like these fake towns and like
That's about the gist of what I
Yeah,
know about
yeah.
North Korea.
I mean, it would be an interesting topic to get into. I just don't care enough.
Right.
I would care more about what Dennis Rodman did when he was there. Like, that's fucking crazy. They probably treated him like a king. Just throwing women at him.
Yeah, I think they
eat whatever you want.
Just played basketball
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that end up getting like really famous and start going a little bit off what mainstream is, and then they end up moving to another country. Who's
like
who
that
else-
McAfee.
Well, who? Yeah, that guy's crazy.
Antivirus.
Yeah. You ever see that story?
Gringo.
That guy's out of his
Get
gourd,
into
dude.
that one,
Didn't he
dude.
kill somebody?
Killed multiple people
Yeah.
and then ran for president and didn't do bad. And they knew he murdered people. Watch Gringo.
Yeah.
Brad
Antivirus.
Pitt or
What's
Mel
that?
Gibson.
No, it's a documentary on John McAfee,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guy who made the McAfee antivirus, and he made too much money.
It started out in just a
Regular
room.
story.
Yeah,
Regular
like a regular
story.
room, and it just built up. And then
He's in a third world country, and he bought the police because he like gave them a boat and bulletproof vests, and they just let him do whatever he wanted. Then he took drug dealers, bought them out, and he started patrolling the town and telling them that they had to go to sleep when he told them like, "You have to do."
I shared a couple of things.
Somebody told me about it, and I watched it, and I was just like, "What the fuck?"
He's tweeting a lot
Yeah.
lately. He don't like,
Still alive, murdered multiple people, proven.
and he talks a lot of shit on Bill Gates too,
Yeah.
because he's like there was like something I forget. There's like a beef between them too. Obviously,
Yeah, Gates should have just stayed inside. A lot of shit's being unturned about him.
Yeah, I've
Like, I was
shared
like,
that
oh,
one.
You hung out with
yeah.
fucking that dude and denied it.
Just hanging out with Epstein.
Yeah,
Why does Bill Gates want to hang out? It doesn't even look like his dick works.
no. That's probably the thing is they probably just had a conversation and he was probably like, I'm not interested.
So weird. I'd have to.
He looks to me like he wants to hurt children with you. You want to go downstairs and hurt children with me?
Is he going through? What a terrible way to look. Do you think it's his hair or his
I don't know,
glasses?
something about him.
Well,
Hey, you want to go?
someone
Punch little kids.
said that. I forget.
Does
They're
he
like
have
some
this
of the.
mustache?
Let's cut him.
Isn't it weird that some of the supposedly smartest, most influential guys in the history of time just look like frail pussies? Why does that guy, he doesn't care to work out or take care of his body? He
Can't
knows
have it
better
all,
than
man.
that.
No,
Can't
you're
have
probably
it
just
all.
focused on reading books. You know what I mean? Like
Can't have it all.
You can't like run on a treadmill and read a book or something?
I don't. I mean, I don't know. I think that like if you just like I eat all the time, so I'm fat. So if he just read all the time and stayed inside and just focused on studies, like maybe he didn't have enough time in a day.
But I feel like if he
Like,
ever,
they don't even ever look like they eat.
Yeah,
like
no,
Steve
like if I-
Jobs didn't
yeah.
look like he was fucking eating.
like if I
correctly.
stood there and they
know
punched
why?
me as hard as they could, their hand and elbow and arm
Adderall?
would just break.
Adrenochrome, dude.
When they
Baby
stopped
blood.
taking it, yeah. When they stopped taking the blood from the babies. Lady Gaga stopped sucking the blood out.
Gaga?
Dude, Hillary couldn't stand that video I
She
I
likes
sent
Lady
you.
Gaga?
Which one was it?
The one about the show I talked about last week.
Oh yeah.
So I talked about that show last week, and then everyone thought I was an idiot. And then 3 days later, a YouTube dropped about the same thing I was talking about. I'm like, sent that shit to everybody. I'm like, this is what I was talking about. Eddie sent it to me.
Yeah, they do that all the time. They do that. They did,
That ABC shit was the most. That was the most liberal propaganda shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, we're gonna stay inside.
staying home together with me.
Oh, fuck you.
You know?
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all those words. Like that's another George
The new
Carlin. It's like
normal.
a George Carlin bit.
New
where
normal.
where you ever that's another first of all, he's got the George Carlin was so ahead of his time, dude. First of all, he had the one where it was all about germs and how people are pussies and their immune systems are weak and all that stuff, right? That one I've been sharing. I've shared that multiple times. But then there's another one where he's talking about soft language and he's talking about how they just start, softening everything up. It's not, this anymore. It's that. It's not, they not like that thing said. They would never say people are confined to their homes because that sounds like,
Prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is. You know, and people are just like, don't, you're, blah, blah, blah. You don't have as many problems. But still, though, man, you're seeing what's going on if you're really paying attention to that. I mean, it's clearly the stay at home with me and the new normal.
Oh, every other YouTube
social
thing.
distancing. It's like,
there's people on YouTube. Hey, guys, just would like you to stay in your house.
My cousin shared something. It's like some people are thriving in quarantine. I'm like, yeah, but that's cool. She shared something like, I'm doing great. I'm like, that's great for you. Yeah. But I want to live my fucking life.
Some people are making more money.
Right.
Yeah,
no, a lot of I'm making, you know what I mean? I'm not going to blow my own spot up, but I'm not. That's not true. I've lost a lot of money.
From the unemployment.
My business lost so much fucking money.
I'm saying from the unemployment, somebody who works at Amazon and they stay home and collect unemployment, and with the extra $600 a week.
Well, that's
you
plus
can
what they
scheme it and
deduct.
make your money, but that's what they're doing to here, little pig, stay at home.
Yeah.
Here's some extra money. You know what I mean? You can't do nothing or spend it on nothing.
No.
But you can go on Amazon, shop on Amazon till your fucking little heart fails. You little
That's
piggy.
true. The governor even said that, before, if you were on unemployment and your job said, hey, it's time to come back to work, and you said no, you lost unemployment, you're out looking for a new job on your ass because there's work available for you.
Yeah.
Now, he said, if your job calls you back and you go, you know what, I'm making more money at home. Nah. And they said, will they take away the unemployment? He goes, no, you can still get it. So now people are going to have to jobs are going to have to hire new people. And we're still going to be bleeding out the ass paying all those other people who just don't want to go back to work because they're just making money to stay home.
I don't know.
I'd rather my stimulus check go to help someone who's really hurting who hasn't gotten any shit. Yet. But I'm saying but I was saying I would rather have mine go to someone else that really needs it and just let me go back to work and let me just do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to my buddy last night, I was like, no one really talks about the people that might be totally fucked in this. There's got to be someone who isn't getting unemployment, has kids, is behind on all their shit, and is just completely fucked.
Well, at least we own our own shit, so we can just be like, hey, listen, we're doing what we want. And other people can't do that. Some people just had some whack job that just, if I was at any of my old jobs and I got let go, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
I'd be in a big trouble.
I'd be fucked if I still cooked.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble. Well, a lot of those people are. Some of those places just, they got to make decisions to do what's right for them, and
it's going to be crazy.
That.
I saw some older restaurants that just started doing takeout now, but they were just kind of
waiting it out first.
Well, I don't want to call anybody out on restaurant stuff because I just think they might have waited too long, or they're just in a position, and I don't know if they're going to get helped out. I don't know if the restaurant was awesome, but it was it was never really busy, but I liked going there a lot, and then I'm just I don't know if they're going to make it. It's going to be interesting to see what restaurants in the area actually survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think everyone's going to be fine. The only reason you won't survive is if you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's the only people that ain't going to survive. If you're like, fuck this, I'm out.
Or people use that as an excuse to just claim
money,
bankruptcy
whatever.
and shit.
I mean, dude, it's
some of those.
It's getting real old with me, dude. I just want to go back.
Yeah, some of those restaurants where they're hurting is they lost their inventory.
Yeah.
And if you're going month to month to pay people.
Yeah. If you're strung thin and then this shit happened and it was bad timing, of course you're fucked.
Yeah, could be. A lot of those places.
If my aunt was my uncle, she'd be a guy. You know what I mean? It's
Science.
no shit.
Yeah. Well, that's why, we're in a decent situation, but I mean, we just want to do our thing. I just want to, regardless of the whole everything, I just wanted to be able to do my thing. I feel less like myself when I can't even do shit, And it's working out at home, that's...
Yeah, the online teaching thing, you should do some Zoom classes. I don't want to do Zoom classes.
I don't want to do Zoom classes either.
I don't want to teach like that. I don't like teaching people on the internet.
It's not the same.
It's not my thing.
No,
I don't like doing Zoom interviews.
Yeah.
It's not the same as this.
I'm not the internet guy.
No.
I'm the real life guy. Come see me, go look me up in the yellow pages and come to
it's
my
so
school.
much better. Just I think a lot of the people miss being a part of the that social interaction with your squad and your team or whatever the fuck. Even if you do some sport, you can't do shit and they're just not. You can't go to the bar, you can't go to the place, you can't go to the. It makes you miss shit. It really does.
Do you think that by June, July, none of this will be a thing? No one will be wearing masks, and we'll just be back to what it was, and nobody will
There's gonna
fucking
be a ton
care.
of people wearing masks because people are fucking pussies.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that
People
are
are
just going to
fucking
be like,
pussies.
people are going to be like, oh, well, I'm waiting for Andrew to have to deal with that one. I already told him what to do, but they're going to be people like, oh, man, when I come to kickboxing, I'm going to have to wear a mask. And I'm just like, we're not going to allow that. We're not going to allow people to do class at our spot with masks on. I'm not going to be.
It's always a fucking accommodation.
I'm not gonna be cleaning up masks. I'm not gonna be throwing away people's shit. I'm not gonna have some imbecile wear a mask in their car. Like if you're driving around with a mask on, dude, I hope crash into a tree for me, please. Thank you. And then
I understand if you're older, but stay your ass home. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm a 30-year-old man that like. I'm in my prime, dude. I shouldn't be stuck at home.
and I'm not going to go to see my grandparents or my mom and them for a while. But I told them, hey, listen, don't do shit. If you need help, let me know.
Yeah, I dropped
Because I don't
off.
give, dude. I'll do what I got to do. You know, I'll wear the shit to do what I got to do to help them out. But that's what we should be doing,
Right.
You know, because I have been to the store and I have seen people, you know, that some people just don't give a shit. But I've seen people that are old and they should probably be home. I got this one neighbor, he's in his 90s and he was down in like Dominican Republic for like for like 91 days I was down there. He was all pissed that he had to come back. And he's like, man, I think, I'm doing fine over here. I'm like, and that's a guy like I don't know if he has any family. He hasn't ever mentioned him. So I'm like, hey, dude, if you need any help, my wife and me were always like, hey, dude, if you need any help, let us know. We'll get you groceries. We'll get you stuff. He's just having shit delivered to him.
Yeah.
And he went down to Tanzo's. Like he went down to Tanzo. You know how you're supposed to order online?
Yeah.
He just shows up down there with his credit card and is like, he had a thing tied around his face, but I'm like, hey, if you need any help, I'll get it for you. Drop it on your. That's what will bring us together. Not because keeping everybody locked down like this, people are starting to fight. People are starting to fight. People are getting,
The mood is
then
changing.
it's like a social thing where you're allowed to tell me I'm not on my whatever because they have I don't know I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand society, dude.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I'm not supposed to be on the it's a good thing I'm not on the grid like everybody else.
It's so uncomfortable to be for me.
Well, we didn't make it. That's why we're doing this,
Dude, we had some other me and Zach are so far off the grid we don't have to listen to or say like my parents go crazy some of the shit I post or say they see on my stuff because they're like who do you think's gonna come get me? You think someone's gonna come get me? Is that what you think? Like I don't know. They think seriously.
Yeah,
They think like
yeah.
someone's gonna come get. They're like, no, Jay. I'm like, listen, I know you feel that way, but we're just normal people. We can't do anything about it. I'm like, you can get fucked with that attitude. Like I'm not normal people. One, and I'm in a position like I feel like owning a martial arts school or like a fight school like this. Your job is like to have a militia amongst the people. That's like your job is almost to kind of build like a fucking little army for yourself. You ever see King Arthur the movie?
The newest one?
Yeah.
No.
There's like a Chinese guy in it that runs a martial arts school right in the middle of town. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'll have to
It's
go.
like
I
you're,
haven't watched
it's
it
just a social. You owning a martial arts school isn't just you teaching people how to punch and kick. You're also teaching people how to think a little bit different, and you're
Yeah.
also teaching people how to not put up. If some shit starts off, you should be in a leadership. You know what I mean? Like that's like a leadership thing.
Yeah, all the great martial artists have always been leaders in their own thing and always been different type of thinkers and went against all the great famous martial artists went against the grain and people told them not to do it. Everybody,
Yeah.
their families, their people, and
Yeah.
everyone told them not to do it. And then eventually, if it worked out for them or they ended up looking good, we look at them as like some hero because they stood up against, whatever. They did things different. I mean, look at Bruce Lee. They gave shit. Everybody fucking gave Bruce Lee shit. All the people from his families, everybody, don't do this, don't do that. He just did it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he got famous for thinking differently. But at the time, people were like, whoa, don't do that. The Gracie, same thing. They, you can say what you want. They're gangsters. If you look at some of the crazy stories from them back in the day, but, them thinking differently. They had a whole nother idea on martial arts, and people told them not to, they didn't want people really being taught over in America and shit and all types of stuff. And, I feel like all the great martial artists have always thought differently and always had like a crew of people that believed in them. And, not like it's some cult, but, and look, a lot of people at our place don't think exactly like we do. And they probably think we're nuts, but I think that's part of it. But why do you think the people who run these type of places are a little bit different thinkers because they're able to take a chance to do that. Because I know a ton of people that would never have done what you're doing, what we did to try to get to this level. You know, what my boy Sean did. Like, you know, obviously Sean's going to think a little bit differently. He's a freaking stand-up comedian. You know what I mean? He's not like he doesn't just go to work and have to listen. Like, it's after a certain amount of time, you get beat down. And regardless of whatever job you're in, after a certain amount of time, you get beat down from having to listen to people and do things that you don't want to do. Yeah. And eventually it's like, you know what, man? Fuck this.
Yep.
Sounds like Fight Club.
Yeah, I was never good at that. Like, school, college was a wreck for me. I couldn't do, like, everyone else is doing their, everyone else is doing. I didn't realize, like, till after I went to college, like, years and years and years later, that, like, I was just learning liberal stuff, and that's why I never liked it. Like, it was just liberal arts. I went to a liberal arts school. I was like learning. They're like, no wonder I couldn't get any of this. It's in La La Land. It's all in fucking. It's not even based in real life.
I always had just behavioral problems in school. I was never pushed towards anything I really wanted to do. It's like my parents tried, but I just don't think they knew where. Like, I should have been doing shit like this. Yeah. I should have been doing fucking radio, TV production. I should have been doing similar things like that. And it's like, I was never steered towards that. And then when I went to college, it's like I tried taking things that I wanted to take, but then they were like, well, you have to take all this stuff that you had difficulties with in high school all over again. So you have to take high school all over again in a semester in order to get one class of the thing you like. And I was just like, well, I don't want to fucking...
And you're paying for it, too.
I don't want to plow through fucking social studies, math, English. I'm like, I struggle in all that. Why wouldn't I focus on what I don't need that shit to fucking edit.
Yeah. No.
None of that applies to anything I do
racket,
here.
Dude.
Well, that's why I actually think, like, my wife went to, like, a liberal.
My wife.
She went to, like, a school where they do, you know, everything, dance.
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that. Like, you're going to, like, she, you know, there were people that go to those schools that are, like, trying to become musicians or want to look into that thing. I think if you are more into the artistic realm, you have to be, you know, it's cool to groom a kid like that and just give them what they want.
It's easier now. It's
Dude,
a lot easier
I didn't do very great in school in the beginning. Like, I was always BCs, but then, once I got to middle, like, you know, junior high school, like, I started, you know, being like a rebel and not wanting to do exactly what they say. And I just always... And it wasn't like I just did things on purpose to be bad, but a lot of times I just would think, like, why the hell are they making us do that? Like,
I always would question.
Like, I'd be like,
shit.
what are they talking about? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then I would get mad, and then, man, when I had the government class, and our old government teacher was crazy Democrat, and just back then I didn't know. My dad liked Bush, but I didn't really pay any attention to.
No.
I was always like, F the government. But when I went to that class, I went to war with that dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, why do you not, you know, and I didn't get a good grade either because I would just question everything he said. He would just get pissed. Yeah. I don't know if that's just the way I am or what.
Now, when I went to Catholic school, I mean, I was raised Catholic, but there was kids in the school who were there for behavior. I mean, well, I was there for behavioral problems, but there was other kids there from public school that weren't raised Catholic, and we'd be in your theology classes, and it'd be, why is that? And then they would take the kid out in the hall and be like, hey, man. And then he's like, no, like, I'm questioning, like, how is any of this stuff real? And they'd be like, you know, just keep your fucking mouth shut and get your grade and keep going. They wouldn't let anyone question religion.
It sounds like my dad. My dad would come to me and be like, have these conversations. He would look at me and be like, Zach, listen, I need you to just do whatever they say. Put in the minimum requirement time.
My dad always told me
and
that. And
just pass the class, and then you could do whatever you want.
Did he tell you that? Well, because you used to do like construction and shit. Did your dad do that growing up? Because my dad always did like blue collar shit, and he'd always be like, look, you're going to have assholes at every job. I just need you to keep your fucking head down, do your fucking 8 hours. He's like, Michael, you just need to learn how to punch in, punch out. And I tried.
Your dad's only job is to teach you how to survive, though.
Yeah.
He's not teaching you how to, like, he just wants you to survive.
I look back on it now, and I'm just like, because it would be the same thing at every job. And every job, like my mom would be giving me advice, and he would just say the same thing over and over. And it didn't, you know, now I look back on it and it makes sense, but he would always just go, punch in, punch out. punch in, punch out.
Yeah, and
Don't
you
get
didn't know
involved in the
teachers were
bullshit.
like-
Punch in, punch out.
I didn't know teachers were like 26 years old when I was.
That's crazy too.
12.
like they're
like I've had
our
sex
age.
with grade school teachers. You know what I'm saying? Back in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like he's with like, and they're telling like you think
Yeah.
they're in a position where you like, you know what I'm saying?
They just look like such elders. And then now I look back on it and it was like how I was acting towards those teachers. I was like, man, that teacher was probably like 28.
Yeah.
And like I'm just in the class being like, fuck you. And like I'm like I would have beat the shit out of me
Yeah,
and threw him
yeah.
on the fucking side.
Yo, Mister, I had one guy. Well, I'm not gonna name his name, but we had one guy who used to come play backyard football with us.
Yeah.
He was a science teacher at Freedom, and I think he used to have a really good job before working at like a chemical thing or
Yeah.
whatever, because he was like got a degree in that, and then it didn't work out. He was working at a lab, and the story was, I don't know if this is true, but people said he got fired, and then he ended up going back and becoming a teacher. And he was like in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
He was a science teacher, and no, dude, I had a class. Some of the goons of kids that were in that class with me, people just didn't give a shit, and there were no
Yeah.
cell phones.
Yeah.
But you could just, that was one of the classes where like he would explode something or start a bunch of papers on fire, or he would just leave, or we would come to class, we'd be sitting there for 15 minutes, everyone would be like, hey, where's the
rolling
guy?
late.
Yeah, and then people would just bounce, or you'd go
Yeah.
up and change your grade. He was just a younger guy, and
Yeah.
and then he started coming to play backyard football with us, and I remember kids being like, yo, I can't wait, dude, he's gonna go for a pass, and we're just, dude, they were always trying to get him the ball so that way they could tackle him and
set him up.
shit.
We had a teacher who did that in Notre Dame. When you would do gym, you didn't have to do gym. You had an option to get changed and find a physical activity, or sit in the bleachers and do homework.
Wow.
It wasn't. There was not.
They always
There
tried to
wasn't
make
shit
us
to do.
yeah.
So, but I always just want to get out of the fucking uniform. So a couple of us would get changed, and there was an annex outside of it, and I would like go rip butts behind it, and then we'd play fucking floor hockey. So we would take all the wrestling mats and put them on one wall, and the rule was you can go full fucking, you could check the fuck out of anybody, but they got to be on the wall. So the one teacher was like a German teacher, and he loved hockey, and he came down the one time and was like, yo, we're gonna play, and we're like, just letting you know, if you go over there, you're getting fucking checked. And he's like, whatever, guys. He goes over there, and my one buddy fucking checked the shit out of him and like knocked him to the ground. Like 2 plays later, my buddy goes over there and isn't paying attention, and the teacher fucking elbows him in the mouth, and he gets a bloody lip, and he's like, oh, sorry.
Hey.
And we go, no, man.
Yeah,
that's what,
Playing
it
sports,
was. Yeah.
you gotta learn that early.
He was cool though. He played with us a couple times, and then he took us all to go see he got permission, and we took a van, and I wish this ended in child molestation, but we just went to see the Jersey Devils, and I was like, that's awesome. Like, there's some teachers that were cool with like shit like that, but it was few and far between.
We had a German. He was a Greek guy, Mr. Kazakis, and he was a soccer. He was pretty good soccer coach at Freedom. He coached like girls soccer, and man, he would let kids fight. If you fell asleep, he would like he would up kick your desk like with your head and stuff. And
Yeah,
he
those
didn't
teachers,
care.
I forgot
He would
about
go,
those
like if you
teachers.
said like a couple times, like one time a kid, he was behind somebody and a kid said something disrespectful to like one of the other teachers, and he grabbed him by the neck and was like shove. Like he would do stuff, but no one ever said anything because he was a cool dude.
No.
And I think the kids that he would hit or kick and stuff, they knew. Like they were like, oh yeah,
I don't think that
I was
shit
asking
goes,
for
I don't
it.
think that shit goes on
No,
now.
you can't do that.
Dude, I remember there was a
You can't do
teacher.
any of that shit.
If your fucking like watches back then would have an alarm that would go off. If your alarm would go off on your watch, he'd stop class and be like, empty all of your book bags now. I want that watch. I don't. And I'm thinking to myself, I got cigarettes in my bag. I'm like, I don't want to get suspended. But he would go person to person. Where's your watch? Is this your watch? You are and he would take the kid's watch, and they'd be like, can I have my watch back? And he'd be like, maybe.
Yeah.
And like then you would hold the property to like the end of the year. I'm like, you can't do that.
Fuck it, man. He's
Some of the-
he's got you by the balls
No,
for
it's
a
like
year.
it's like when they had the coaches for the football team who were just mid-20s, early
Yeah, they were
30s
just there to
jock
coach
guys,
football.
and then they put them in as teachers for some of the classes or gym. And then some of them were working on the football. This is how they got around. They weren't the guys they wanted to coach football couldn't be teachers because they didn't have degrees or anything like that. So what they would do is they'd hire them as security guards at the school. And then they also coached on the football team. So they would be walking around like Coach Lane. Like this one guy, his last name was Lane. Obviously, they called him Night Train Lane. And when kids were getting into a fight, they wouldn't even be tied up. And some of these security guards would just run them over. Because they were like us.
Yeah.
Like they were like my age now. And you know how stupid I am? Imagine if I was a security guard at a high school.
In your
Because people
20s.
would be like, they'd be like, yo, Lane, let me get a dime sack. And he'd be like, guys, don't talk like that. Or people would come up
Yeah.
and like throw shit at him, or they mess with these dudes all the time. And I felt like back then, like no one got in trouble though. You never heard of like court cases, or they just let shit ride. It was crazy.
I watched a nun drag a kid by his hair down an entire flight of bleachers, and everyone was just like, "Oh."
Well, because parents used to have the teachers back.
Yeah.
Like if you were a kid and you went to your mom or dad about a teacher, they'd be like, "Well, you better fix it with that teacher." Like my mom wouldn't help me out with teachers and shit.
No,
Never.
my parents
Now you
always.
got parents getting involved and
Yeah.
fucking they ain't got shit to do.
You're right. That definitely swung the other way.
They're
My
trying
mom
to
would
make
always
money.
be like, "What did you do?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad would be like, yeah, I get it. The guy's a freaking jerk off. He's like,
called-
but please, just figure it out with the guy and get out of there.
That's called responsibility.
Just finish the class.
45.
Freaking high school, man. I liked high school. Comparable to like what I think it is now, I think kids would be blown away. We're freaking old though, because now I remember at Freedom, I think it was maybe the first year I was there or the last year is the first time they installed cameras. Before that, there wasn't even cameras.
Yeah.
You could get away with anything, dude.
After all the school shootings.
Yeah. I remember
Now
one
it's a
time,
fucking fortress. You can't even get in.
even at Northampton, there was a one kid I remember. I shouldn't say his name either, but he went to. I remember he was in juvie, and his girl was around, and they were like the kid that they were saying he was going to be 21 years old, is still in high school.
Yes.
And he was
Yes.
like, "I'm going to bring a fucking 6-pack to the
gonna get a
front
van."
doorstep, and I'm going to drink it." Well, it's crazy, dude. His girl used to walk around town and like mess with people like younger boys. Like some crazy shit. Like he was in juvie, and everyone was like, "No, don't mess with his girlfriend. He's gonna come out and beat the shit out of everybody." And
That's so funny that it was those stories are at every town.
he beat up he did beat up a couple people too, but he was ready. I forget what he did. I think he like spray painted a car, and that was like another offense. And they're like, "All right, dude, you're going to juvie." And right before he was going to juvie, he lit up a blunt in Northampton and walked down the school with it. And didn't get caught, and they didn't know who it was, and he just got away with it. I remember people being like, "Dude, you're never gonna believe it, the most gangster thing of all time. He's going to juvie the next day. The dude just walked down, smoked a marijuana cigarette." That's what the one guy said. And then like 2 weeks later, a guy put a bunch of pepper spray bombs like in the thing, and it blew
love
off,
when
and then
people
people
did
got
shit like that
sick,
in
and they
high
had to, they had to come and the ambulances and like the fire extinguishers. Someone also lit Freedom on high school too. They threw a cigarette inside of a trash can, and it lit like a thing up, and like
Yeah.
people were. I mean, that was around like when Columbine shit was going on, so people were like running, and it was just an excuse for you to go home. And then kids
Yeah.
were like, "I'm not."
Pulling
It's just
the
like now, they're
firearm.
like, "Yeah, I'm not coming to school. I'm nervous." They're like, "Yeah, right," sitting at home playing video games. They just didn't want to come in. But I don't know. We got way off topic with that. I don't even know what the fuck we were even talking about.
No, I love reminiscing about old stupid school shit.
Yeah, it does. It does. The old times, dude. Remember 2006 when you were allowed to just raw dog life and do whatever you want, just hang out and see people, and well, we might not be able to shake hands anymore.
Somebody said that to me yesterday. I was just like, shut up. Just shut up.
Some people are not. How about you? I listened to Joe Rogan podcast with Tom Green on it because I grew up watching Tom Green and stuff,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to hear. He's a freaking germaphobe nut. He was like crazy worried.
I
About
thought he was
shit.
joking around in the beginning when he had the Lysol out.
Yeah.
And then like halfway through, I was like, oh no, like he's very, he's not touching anything.
I'm surprised
man,
he went there.
I don't have to accommodate everyone else though. Like that's the thing. Like if you want to be a germaphobe and stay locked in your house, that's your business. It's just I don't want to have to. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
I saw a crazy thing too. I was at Wegmans and I saw a kid that probably was like maybe it's him and his girlfriend. He was probably like in his mid to early 20s. and he was walking around. He had a mask on that had like a skull thing, and it was hanging off. So he didn't have his mask on. He's walking around Wegmans with no mask on, has a phone up to his ear, and just a T-shirt on. It was raining yesterday, and just a gun on the side of his hip. And I was like, damn, that dude is so good. I just looked, and he did do same thing, full sleeve tattoos. I was like, damn, that guy's, what's that guy up to?
I walked past an employee at Wegmans, and she was just getting an iced coffee, and she turns around and she takes her mask off and takes a big sip of it. And I just laughed to myself and said, "What's the point? What's the point?"
Well, that's the thing. Now you're thinking already like someone's walking around without their mask on.
Well,
You already think that now.
Yeah.
but
It's
but
normal,
to me,
like now, oh, why doesn't that guy have a mask on?
Yeah.
but to me, I was just like, why, if like, no, this isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
You know what I started doing yesterday? I've been having fun with it. I started people that I had to get by. I started changing my accent because I can't see my face.
Yeah. Well, I took it down. I saw someone I knew too, and I just have the thing that you wear for skiing.
Yeah.
So I
have
just
a
put that
t-shirt.
down. And I
I have a
just
t-shirt
I'm like,
sleeve, so
because
it's over
we're
my
like
face.
this talking to each other. We're like, I'm like, hold on a second, dude, what's up? You know?
Yeah.
And he's like,
I was just down at Wrestlers down here, and then the lady's like, she has a sign that says you can't come in
Yeah.
without a mask. So I go and get my mask, and then I put it on, and then I wait in line for 20 minutes because
Oh, they're the
insanely
worst.
old people are playing lottery for half hour.
Yep.
And I'm
Come
like,
out and
just
play
sitting there,
lottery.
I'm like, I'm like, you're gonna die playing lottery.
Yep. Come out.
yeah,
and
why
play
are you
lottery.
doing lottery,
like,
dude? That makes no sense.
So
How about you check IDs and not let old people inside
Yeah.
instead of a fucking mask?
and then yeah. So anyway, I go up to the counter and I'm like, yeah, can I get this and that? And she's like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I'm like, oh, my bad, I have a T-shirt covering my face. Like,
I was in CVS and the lady was coming up, like was late to come to the counter, and I'm like, I could leave. I could leave out the front door. You can't see my tattoos. You can't see my face. I could get out of here and bolt.
Yeah,
And
I
I know
po-
this town enough where I can run and won't be able, like. And then I'm like, this is crazy. This is
Yeah, I was
crazy.
like,
it's gonna be at the store where you can. It's gonna be like Amazon, like those Amazon stores where everything just has a barcode, and like when you walk out, it takes the amount out of your. You know what I mean? Everything's
Yeah.
gonna be automatic, no people. You know what I'm saying?
Some places are really going to stick with that. Yeah.
You know.
I was thinking to myself, looking around, I was like, dude, I look like one of those. I literally with my hood up and a hat
Yeah, it
on,
was
I look
raining
like
out.
one of those women from like the Middle East, or like if I'm on like SEAL Team 6 or whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm like, should I rob this place?
You
right
definitely didn't know it was fucking me. The only thing
Yeah.
that was showing was my eyes. And I wasn't doing it on purpose. It was just raining and I came in. Then as soon as I walked in, there was just like this weird feeling where I was just like, what the fuck is going? Like, I'm just like, I shouldn't feel like this. I feel like I'm going to rob the place.
now? Should I rob this place?
Yeah.
I started thinking like,
What about the people who
I'm not robbing
who
places.
don't think though? And they do just take
Well,
shit.
a guy did just. I posted up on my Instagram story. A guy just did rob a place,
Yeah.
and it looks like what I look like normally. So,
I saw a thing on
sir,
YouTube.
what did he
It
look
was,
like? He was wearing a mask.
It was a Ring video, and these two guys were knocking on a door, and they went in, and the one guy got shot and was fucking killed. The other guy got rolled outside in the fucking street. They beat the fucking piss out of him.
Oh, on the ring.
Yeah, they came up with masks on and toolbox, and were like, they just thought it was going to be some old people or something, and
What's that movie, The Purge?
yeah, shit like that. And then like they knocked, and the guy opened, and he goes, what? And then the guy they walked into the fucking home, and then you hear all this commotion, a gunshot. One of the fucking robbers runs out. They beat the shit out of him in the middle of the street, and then the kid goes back in to check on his family, and then the news report comes on and was like, yeah, the one dude got fucking murdered, and the other one got fucking arrested, but he got the shit kicked out of him.
Damn.
Yeah, that shit's going on.
Wait, is Florida open or no?
I know they are going to be open because
May
the
1st or something?
UFC's doing 3 shows in 8 days.
Wow, that's gonna be sick. I can't wait to watch that shit. I mean, it's not the same because there's no, like, even last night on that Submission Underground, there was no fans,
Yeah.
so it was really weird. I don't know if it's the same. I mean, I don't know if it'd be the same. It wouldn't be the same for me fighting under those conditions. I mean, you got to go out there. Those guys get paid. They got to go out there and be professional. They're going to try to win the fight. But I just don't feel like the energy is the same
No, it's got
when
to
there's
be
no
different.
one there.
I think it's
You know?
got to be different. I don't know. Watching it as a fan's going to be different. My friends are already like, what are we going to do? Are we watching it together?
Yeah, you get together and watch it.
Yeah.
You stop listening.
Well,
to
I tell
everybody.
everybody, I said, look, this is what I'm doing. If you want to come down to the studio, come down to the studio.
I mean, the corona's got like a 0.1 death rate now. Like
Yeah.
a 0.1% of people that have it die. It's such a fucking joke. We're gonna look back in a year and be like, we way overreacted.
Well, I told you, I always look at I always look at the numbers just to see, and it is 1,500 people have died in this state.
And they're all nursing home
There are
people.
12.8 million people in this state, and then 950 some out of the 1,500 people have died have been in nursing homes or in retirement community places. And then after that, the amount of people who have died has mostly been people that are 85 and older. So that leads me to believe that they need to fix them fucking nursing homes somehow. They need to figure that the fuck out, not have people sick going into nursing homes. That should be like number one for me. Be like, okay, if not 80% of the people that are dying are in nursing homes, don't we need to figure out how it's, you know what I mean? They need to figure out nursing homes. They need to get that shit fixed immediately.
Or just don't put your family in a nursing home.
Yeah, that too. But still, though, 600
nursing homes have never been a place where like everyone's looking forward to going.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
no.
Of course, people are going to be dying there.
Yeah, and people nursing homes are a terrible thing too because a lot of people get abused and all types of stuff. Then only around 600 people have died in the whole state, and then those people are mostly old. So like the shutdown to me doesn't make much. We did it for a month. Less people have it, but now there's antibody tests showing that many, many more people have had it. Just like we think we had it. Now people should just go back to work. And that's what I'm saying. Some people are going to be scared and that's fine. But I think right now is an opportunity where you should be able to, do what you have to do to take care of your own life, and we got to do what we got to do because no one's taking care of us. We got to do what you got to do. You got family to take care of. You got dogs to feed. You got, kids on the way. You got cars and shit. You got stuff to do. We got to do it. We got to do what we got to do. And that's the way we feel. And anyone who narcs on us, we're going to show up at your house with a flaming shit bag.
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
These guys are threatening people. No, we're not, guys. Or are we? I don't know. Today, I got a busy week. I got a bunch of stuff I'm doing this week. I'm fairly busy. I'm going to keep up, doing what we're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been busy as hell with Axelrad pulling in some.
Yeah, we got some shirts and stuff coming. So a lot of people have been talking to me. So I think we're going to be, doing our thing sooner than later. But that's the way I feel.
Absolutely.
Appreciate this podcast. I'm going to get some more Zach's Corner podcasts out there. Finishers MMA TV, buy our BJJ Fanatics thing, shop Finishers, whatever. We got stuff going. We're doing stuff.
Yeah.
Come see us. Hit up the school. If you want to eventually train, hit up the school. FinishersMMA.com.
All my stuff's at neveragainstudio.com. I'm still working with Axelrad. They haven't stopped at all. And their business, they're actually like raising money and doing
they're busier than ever, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Axelrad. Support small businesses, you motherfuckers. You definitely should. This is the problem. You motherfuckers got money. Some of y'all getting that extra 600. You cocksuckers, go out there and buy shit from local businesses. You pieces of shit.
Fuck going to Walmart.
Yeah, you fucking not big ass box stores. You dummies. If there's people out there that you could buy gift certificates and shit, massage places, places that aren't going to be open now. Small food stores that just open. You motherfuckers got money with your long pockets and short arms.
Plus, some of the restaurants are turning into small markets. Like I can't think of the fucking Tucker Silk Mill. A friend of mine lives in the Silk Mill area, and she said she just goes over there and does all of her shopping. Yeah,
that's the real coming together. Not stay home together because blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
No. Stop buying shit from Amazon.
Yep.
You know I'm buying shit from Amazon. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Support small businesses, man. That's the best thing you can do right now. That'll stimulate the economy and diversify your motherfucking bonds. I'm out.